Conference game, you guys go down to College Station. Is that a rivalry, a series that you hate to see go away?
I hate to see all of them go away. I mean, I think everybody knows how I feel about the Big 12. I'm a strong proponent of finding a way to make it happen. Now, obviously, nobody really cares what I think, but I hate that we're not going to have an opportunity to play teams like that, just for the reasons that Barry brought up a second ago.
OU and Texas have Regents meetings today. OSU has one on Wednesday. Does it appear to you that everybody's headed west, or what have you been told of anything?
They don't tell me much more than really what you guys know. You know more about it than myself. I was just briefed coming in here by Gavin and then obviously Kevin, and Kevin tries to keep me from really speaking my opinion so you don't have to deal with the backlash. So freedom of speech has kind of gone out the window with him. You know, he's down to 115 as it is. He'd be down to 105 if I really spoke my opinion. But I don't know really what's going on. I only trust the people that are making the decisions are doing it for the right reasons. And at some point, maybe all this will clear up, and at least we can talk about football. And you guys, because I know y'all want to talk about football, and we can let this go. But there's a lot happening. Obviously, 2 teams left the Big East and went to ACC, and then 2 more are leaving today, I've been told. So that means that the dominoes are starting to fall somewhere. And there's going to be teams looking to jump into conferences. I just hate that there could be teams that have traditionally been in this part of the country, been in the Big 8, been in the Southwest Conference, been in this league, that may not have anywhere to go, who are good football teams. And then there's other teams that are in this geographical location that may be way out of here to a certain extent based on what some people think. So,
do you want to be included more in the discussions of realignment with Coach Holt, or do you just say?
I don't really have a lot to say other than it takes me about 2 minutes to say what I think's best. And then other than that, if you've been in many administrative meetings and stuff, you're just kind of spinning your wheels. And so I've just put faith in Coach Holder and President Hargis that they'll do what they think is best for the student athletes for Oklahoma State University and for our league. And then other than that, there's not really anything else I can say.
Mike, on the Big 12 teleconference today, Bob Stoops pretty much said almost exactly what you're saying. But he did at one point admit, well, they do ask me what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I want to guess you've been asked what you think.
Yes. I mean, but they just don't ask me that many times. Just but like a couple. So
You like to repeat it more.
I'd like to say a lot, but I'm not going to. I've learned. I would have been real disgusted last Saturday night with the defense in the third quarter, and I've learned to relax, and I'm glad I did. And so I'm learning as I get older.
Coach, 15 guys have caught a pass for you this season, and obviously we knew that wideout would be a deep position, but did you expect this many guys to be involved this early? We
felt like we had a good group, and we've got some young guys that will be able to contribute for us, and that should increase and grow as the season goes on. But I'm pleased with what Hubert's doing. I'm pleased with what Isaiah's doing. Pleased with what Tracy Moore's doing. Everybody knew about the other guys. You know, we knew about Coop, you knew about Blackman. You know, Justin Horton's playing well for us. So that group that we needed to contribute to really give us some depth is coming through at this point for us.
How is it different now versus maybe last year when there were some question marks? We didn't know Blackman would break out the way he did.
Just experience is so important. Guys that have been out there and played in front of crowds and have been in difficult situations in third and long, third and short, and understand the tempo of the game and playing with pain and just all those things that factor into having a good football team.
With Coach Spencer out this week, does that change the game plan, or how do you guys approach it?
Well, our defensive staff will obviously game plan the same way. We won't have input from him, and he's a very good football coach, and so we have to find ways to overcome that. The other coaches have to make up for that aspect that that particular part of the game plan that he's responsible for. And we have a coach that's set up to coach his linebackers, And I have faith in him. He's a young guy that's been in our program, and he'll do a good job. And so then the last bit falls on the players. I mean, on the linebackers, they have to make up for it. They have to be willing to overcome circumstances and prepare and stay focused. The preparation from Tuesday all the way up through Thursday is basically what's going to decide the game. And so I have a lot of confidence in where we're at, and I feel like the linebackers will play well.
A few of the players were saying that they can notice a difference just in energy level when you're preparing for a conference game, a Big 12 game. Do you notice that as well, kind of pick up in energy and intensity?
Yeah, we've worked hard on trying to keep that intensity for every game, but I think it's only human nature that in a 12-game season, as much as you'd like to play at a high level each week, I don't know that that's possible. And so I thought that our guys were in a good frame of mind and fairly focused last night, and they should be the same way on Tuesday.
Who is set up to take over the linebacking?
Andrew Thacker is on our staff, and he's going to handle those guys for the next few days.
Do you anticipate Glenn being back by Saturday at all?
I think so. It's hard for me to say because it's difficult right now. It's difficult to talk to him. It's difficult for him to talk a lot, but he has expressed a strong interest in at least wanting to be with the team. And so Angela's services will be Thursday, and it's hard for me to really speak for him with the exception of that. I think that once that part of it is complete, I think he wants to try to get back into a routine to keep his mind kind of off it for best that he can. That's what I gathered from him this morning.
Do you anticipate Alex Elkins to be back to 100% or at least near that, certainly by Saturday?
Should be that way tomorrow. He was out there last night and moved around well. And I had mentioned this, I don't know if some of you may not have braved it at 4 in the morning, but that we could have played him in Tulsa. But we had made a decision to not play him, and I felt like he was maybe 75-80% at that time.
You said after the game that you thought it'd take 2 or 3 days for everybody to recuperate from what you had to go through. Obviously, it's a tough spot going on the road playing one of your biggest games of the season against a really powerful and aggressive team. Can you just talk about the spot you're in and how you deal with it the best you can?
2 or 3 days, I was probably referring more to myself. The players will be more resilient because they're younger. Their bodies can make that change. But they moved around pretty well last night, and they were really in a pretty good frame of mind. And so we gave them a plan of a time to be in bed, and when to eat and when to get to bed, and when to get up, and to try to get them back on a normal routine. And then we had asked them to make sure that they take care of all their academic responsibilities today. They have classes and labs and study halls on Monday's a big day for them. And then to get back in bed tonight by 9 o'clock. So you figure that they may be in bed by 11. It's a pretty good deal. And that should get them back on a normal routine.
How about you as a coach? I mean, did you walk off the bus and start down film?
No, I went home. It was very unusual pulling up at 6. And then I went to bed, and I went to bed for a couple hours and came back.
Might be good practice for you, though, coming back from Pac-16 games.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. But honestly, that's the truth, especially if you're playing on the West Coast, and if you finish the game out there at 10-ish or 11-ish, that's 12-ish or 1-ish here. And then you got a 3-hour flight, so you're looking at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Mike, you played a team last year that was on its way out the door, Nebraska, and seemed to sort of play for a cause. They wanted to show everybody that it seemed to me Nebraska was playing with a little bit of a chip on its shoulder last year. Have you detected any of that with A&M?
Oh, I don't know, because obviously we haven't seen him, but I think they're good. I think they're a good team, and they've matured, and he's got a a group of experienced players, which would factor in more than anything, I would think. But you never know. Now that you mentioned that with Nebraska, they played pretty well last year, knowing that each week I think that the press probably brought to their attention, or the attention of the teams they were playing, that this was your so-called last shot at Nebraska, and it worked out pretty well for them. So, but I think they're just a good football team. I think they're pretty good.
How big has Daquan Lowe been for you guys this season?
He's done a nice job. I wasn't real fired up about that late hit the other day, even though it really wasn't much of a hit, but he's played well for us. He had a couple nice hits in the game, and he stepped in and gotten back into it pretty good. Daquan is a smart football player, and he contributes on special teams, so it's obviously been good we got him back.